or simply click the raise hand button, and the presenter will address your question during the Q&A session at the last part of his presentation. Next. So before we kickstart to our presentation formal, let me share with you our webinar and workshop series. We already presented to you general introduction, demo, and interactive workshop in the last 5 sessions. And also, I just want to give you a brief overview on the agenda for today. Next. So today we will demonstrate OMS solution including digital OEE and discrete clean management or DLM. So without further ado, I shall hand you over to our presenter for today. Over to you now, Sir Angelson.
Thank you, Janice, for the introduction. So good afternoon, everyone. So today I'll be presenting two solutions from AVEVA, which is Digital OEE and Discrete Clean Management System, or DLM. Although these two solutions have similarities in functionality, they differ in the way we use it and deployed it in the production. So Digital OEE can be used and deployed on food and beverage industries and other general industries, while Discrete Clean Management System, or DLM, as the name implies, can be used and deployed in the lean manufacturing plant, like electronic manufacturing or assemblies, some automotive part assemblies, and other lean manufacturing plant. So let me start with introducing Digital OEE. So Digital OEE is a commercial out-of-the-shelf solution, and it's a pre-built application running on AVEVA Edge platform. So the purpose of this solution or application is to improve production line OEE by providing the operators or shop floor members some relevant information or details with regards with OEE measures. So the system also provides management dashboard and reportings that can be used in the system, and also it maintains standards, eliminate errors, and miscount of OEE losses. So this is how the application or the solution works. It connects on top of our existing equipment in two ways. First, it can connect directly with our PLC to get the data from there, or can be connected through the sensors on top of the existing equipment to measure equipment status, equipment speed, produce units, and even detect stoppage. So in this diagram here, we can see that our sensor from the production line is directly connected to our PLC. And from there, the PLC will generate these parameters to be fed in our digital OEE solution. So here is some of the example deployment that we can do with digital OEE. We can deploy it directly in the production line. Here, the operator console will provide real-time OEE dashboard to the operators or to the user of the system. It can also provide downtime reason entry. So if there are some downtime occurrences in the plant, the operator can key it in the system. Also deploy the solution in multiple lines. So in this architecture, we are deploying digital OEE in several production line by AVEVA Edge Team Client or even runtime. And it is connected to a manager console, whereby the manager can view OEE reports by ship, OEE report by dates, and by PO. And the supervisor or the planner can also schedule process order that can be deployed in each production line. We can also connect our system to AVEVA Insight for online or cloud storage and analytics. So this is the typical architecture for our solution. Now let me walk you through the application itself. So this is the interface of the digital OEE solution. So as I mentioned earlier, it's a pre-built application, meaning that all the templates, all the graphics are already pre-built in the system, and the user can only configure the setting within this application. So in the main page, we have two settings or two options, the settings and the operation. So under the settings, we can configure both engineering parameters and production parameters. So let me talk about what are the things that we can set under engineering. So we can set the locations. We can also set line settings, OEE losses, the communication to your PLCs, the OEE settings, general settings, and the database settings. Although the application already provides us with a pre-configured database, we can still edit the parameters in this database settings. So under our location, we can set our plant layout. So in this particular example, the user already defined some of the areas in the plant. We have the plant, the area, the line, and the machine. So in this page, we can configure multiple areas. We can configure multiple lines depending on the requirement of the plant or depending on the setup in the plant. So in this example, the user will add a new machine in this line 1. So this is to show you how easy it is to configure the system by just adding item to our system. It can be readily be deployed. So the system also provides us with the tools that we can use like edit, delete. We can also import settings. If we already done this installation before, we can import and export in this. Under the line settings, this is where we configured the nominal speed for your each machine. So if you have multiple machine in the production, you can set it here. You can set how many parts does one machine produce per minute. So in this example, the user will change the nominal speed from 12 to 6. So meaning that this particular machine, machine 1, can only produce 6 parts per minute. Next is the OEE losses reason. So the system already provided us with a list of downtime reasons that we can use throughout the application. So we already have unavailable downtime reasons, the loss type, the category, what is the reason, and what are the other downtime reasons like for performance and quality. So it's already pre-built in the system. Next is the OEE settings. So if we have multiple machine, we can set the target for each machine in this page. We can set the target availability, the target performance, the target quality in this page. And as I mentioned earlier, the system connects to the production line using the 4 parameters. So those parameters are being inputted here in this page. So we can input the data source for your total parts, the bad parts, the status read, and status write. So all of those configuration needed is being configured here under OEE settings. Now let's talk about the production parameters. So under production parameters, we have 4 settings: the products, the line performance per product, the shifts, and order scheduling. So under our product settings, this is where we set all the products produced in a certain plant. So if we have multiple products, we can set it here in the system. So as you can see, the user already configured one product. And for this example, the user will add another product. And again, this is to show how easy it is to configure the system and how easy it is to deploy in the application. So after adding the specific product and the product description, this is now ready to be deployed in our production area. Next is the line performance per product. So this is where we set and configured some special rules or exception. Earlier, we already configured the nominal speed of your machine. We configured all nominal speed per machine. And in this page, we can set an exemption, like what the user will do now. He will add an exemption to add a specific product and a specific line. So here we will select line 1 and select a product to be deployed in this production line. And here we can set the nominal speed. So these settings will not affect your previous settings that is being used in the application. Under shift, we can configure both shift template and shift allocation. And the system already provided us with a default template, which is very normal in most of the plant. It has 3 shifts: morning shift, afternoon shift, and night shift. So in this page, we can configure the start time of the shift, what is the end time, what is the duration of the shift, and what is the scheduled breaks per shift. So last is the order scheduling, and this is the most important part of the application. This is where we schedule the process order. This is where the supervisor creates and allocate production order for each line. So here, the user already configured one process order. So we can see the order status, the process order number, which area of the plant it is being deployed, what is the specific product to be run in this production line, the quantity required, and the time. So this information provide us when this process order will be run in the production. Next is the operation. So under operation, we have three parts: the real-time OEE dashboard, operational review report, and close order OEE dashboard. So this is where the operator interacts with the system. Under our real-time OEE dashboard, the operator can select a specific production line, and here he can execute the process order. And also, it will provide information like the actual availability of the machine, the performance of the machine, the quality. And from here, in this example, the operator will resume the order. Since the order status is now on hold, the operator can resume this process order to complete the order process. Under our operational review report, this is where the management or the manager will view the report. So he can select the date, specific date for he wants to retrieve the information. He can select the specific process order and retrieve the data. So this will show all the information pertaining to this process order. The manager can also see if there are some downtime occurrences during the production of this process order, whether the downtime is caused by availability, performance, or quality. And this page also provides us information on the total number of parts that is produced by this process order, the good part and the bad part. So last is the close OEE dashboard. So this is the last part of the operations. So here we can track and trace the status of our process order. So if we select a process order and the location of the work order, we can check what is the current state of this process order. If the process order is already complete, is it still running? So in this page, we can see all of those information. So in this example, we can see that the machine state is still on the running state. And we can see how long does this process order is being run in the production. And if there are some downtime occurrences, we can also see it in this page. So that concludes the demo for the digital OEE. I will discuss about discrete lean management or the DLM. So DLM is a suite of easy to use configurable tools for digitalization of your operation management and lean practices. So it offers digital operation and lean tools for the operators. It also enables paperless operation and data collection, eliminating those paper-based or manual data collection from your system. It also provides us performance visualization and evaluation and rapid response to production issues by using the unknown system. The solution is meant for discrete manufacturing environment to increase operational effectiveness. And it is a standard solution, so out-of-the-box content, meaning that you cannot do changes on the source code, although you can configure this solution to fit into different plant setup. So it's lightweight, scalable, and easy to deploy. AVEVA Discrete Lean Management offers 4 modules running on Edge HMI. So we have Andon. Andon is a Japanese term for light indicator, meaning it provides notification for the production issues. It also triggers fast response to the maintenance team to prevent and reduce production loss. So that's the Andon module. Next module is the performance. Under this module, we can capture the utilization and production data for performance evaluation and analysis. And it also provides us some detailed information with regards to the equipment performance or the equipment OEE. Next module is work instruction. So work instruction is a paperless product work instruction or production work instruction context-based training for the operator use. So it's a set of step-by-step procedure for a operator to operate a certain machines. So it's under this module. Last module of our solution is work order management. So it's a centralized production work order management, a line-based production work order execution. So the system can interact if there are available ERP system in the plant. We can interact on that one and collect the work order from our ERP system, or the planner or the supervisor can manually input all the information with regards to work order for the production. So these are the four modules that is included within this solution. Next is the typical deployment of our DLM solution. So in this diagram, we can see that we have two lines, the automated line and the manual line. So under our production line, we have deployed several team client. So it's a secure viewer team client. And from our automated line, we have the communication gateway to handle all the communication to your PLCs and field devices. We also have the central server to host all the configuration database. And we can also deploy plant dashboard to view the real-time operation of the plant. We can view the performance of your equipment. We can also view some issues raised in the plant using the unknown system. The system can also be deployed in the laptop or desktop PCs by web browser. And the system provides a functionality for notification via email using the SMTP server. And like what I mentioned earlier, our system can interact with ERP system. So it can exchange data with the existing ERP if ever it is available in the plant. So this is the interface of our discrete lean management solution. So in this page, the operator can select the area of the plant. So he can select whether it's an area, it's the production line, or even the workstation. So from here, the user can select which area of the plant he wants to view. The system also provides login information for the user. So every time the operator log in into the system, it will capture the time when the operator log in the system and when the operator log out. So now I will talk about the first module of the application, which is unknown. So unknown module can either get data directly from PLC, or the user can raise an issue using this module manually. So in this particular example, one of the operator will raise an issue by clicking the system. And here he can select the area or the workstation itself where the issue is being raised. So in this example, the operator will raise an issue for workstation 25. He can then select an issue with the predefined list or put a comment and then raise an issue. So once the issue has been raised, it will send notification to the maintenance team. It's either via email or via text message. So once they receive the notification, they can log into the system and acknowledge that there's an issue within the system. So when they log into the system, they can acknowledge, and here he can either type in the comment to acknowledge the issues or select from the predefined list that the solution already configured for us. So here the maintenance will select an issue and acknowledge. So notice here that every time that there is an interaction with the system, it always asks for the ID card or the ID number. So either we can scan it using barcode reader or we can type it in. So this is for audit trail purposes and for dashboarding use. So every time the system captures the data, it can be viewed in our dashboard. So once the maintenance team already resolved the issues, he can again log into the system and says that I already resolved the issues and everything will be back to normal. So the system will go back to the normal state. So under this work e-unknown system, we can also configure a escalation. So if ever for a specific period of time there's no acknowledgement in the issues, it will escalate. So we can also do that in the system. And aside from that, we can also view history. So whatever issues has been raised in this particular production line or particular workstation, we can view it here under history. We can also select the time and date to retrieve all the information pertaining to this specific machine or equipment. And we will be able to see what are the issues raised. So next, I'm going to talk about e-work order management and e-performance. So under this module, the operator or the supervisor can either type in the work order or get it directly from ERP system and allocate to a different production line. So for this example, the supervisor will allocate this specific process order to the line. And under the e-performance, the operator can execute this process order. So earlier, I mentioned that we can deploy discrete lane management on the manual line. So in this particular example, that process order has been deployed to a manual line. So the operator needs to input some parameters on the system in order for it to proceed with this process order. So here, the operator can start the process order, and it will show us the information on how many parts is needed for this process order to be complete. So after running the work order, the operator needs to key in some parameters on the system, like the good part and the bad part. So in this example, after the machine produces part, the operator needs to input it in the system since this is a manual line. But if it is on the automated line, the system can automatically pick up every information in the PLC. So notice here that after the operator input bad part, notice the graph that there's a changes in color, so it becomes red. And the operator needs to add a reason why there's a bad part produced. So it's either because of downtime, so the operator needs to select what is the cause of that bad part. So in this case, it's because of the conveyor malfunction. So the operator needs to input it and repeat the process again to complete this required quantity for this process order. So after completing the MO, this process order will be sent to our quality for confirmation. So the supervisor can acknowledge that this process order has been completed. So it is done under the e-work order management tab, where the supervisor is viewing under quality view. The QA or the supervisor can now confirm that this order has been completed, and he can now assign another work order for this particular production line. Last module of our application is the e-work instruction. So under this module, like what I mentioned earlier, it's a collection of procedure that is intended for the operator, for him or her to operate a specific machinery. So in this example, the operator will scan the product ID using barcode scanner and select the product ID. So from here, we can see the step-by-step procedure. It's either by PDF file, like what is shown here. We can also upload video file in this application. The operator can also filter from all those procedure. So it can either filter for manual or filter for video file. And that concludes my demonstration for discrete lane management system. So today I already discussed the solution from AVEVA, the digital OEE. We already discussed the functionalities and show you how the system works. And I also discussed about discrete lane management, what are the modules included in this solution, and how the system works. So that concludes my presentation for today. Back to you, Janice.
Thanks, Sir Angel, for the presentation. And we'll now move to our Q&A session. So please go ahead and type your questions into the chat box, or you can unmute your audio to ask question, and we'll try and have them answered by our presenter. Um, is there any question from our guest? Hello? Uh, Again, if you have any questions, you can ask our presenter and he can answer the questions. Sir Angelson, can you wrap up some information and have our guest to ask some questions?
Yeah, thank you for joining us today. So if you have any question in the future, you can always send us an email if ever you have any questions.
Mm. I guess our guests don't have any questions. So if you don't have any question, that's conclude our presentation for today. But let me share with you some information. So if you have any questions or concern, please do not hesitate to contact us at info@isdnsoftware.com, or visit our website www.isdnsoftware.com. And please do also visit the AVEVA and Stratus site if you're interested in their respective solution offerings. And if you are still interested to join the IIC competition, so registration is still open until September 15th. So you can register to our website directly. And besides that, we would also like to invite you on the next interactive workshop, which will be held on September 10th. And the topic is Aviva Edge and Insight Cloud. Again, if you don't have any question, thank you for your attendance today. We hope you enjoy the demo workshop. And thank you again, and keep safe, everyone. Bye-bye.